Alright, well, I wanted a new place for filming. Think it looks pretty good. We're back with another Vincent Drug display unboxing video. And this time we got a bag. Unfortunately, I was hoping for a box, but it's a bag from Zagone. Already got a nice hole poked in it, so that kind of sucks. Hopefully everything inside is in good shape. And this is another one where it's going to be a modern copy of something that is seen in the Vincent Drug display in Halloween 4. And I was hoping for another Zagone sticker. Hopefully maybe it's in this bag. Not that I've put my first one that I got on anything yet, but stickers are cool. Sealed for freshness. Alright, so... Nope, looks like no sticker. Bummer. Oh well. And I forgot to bring the mannequin head in here, so you're just going to have to put up with me holding it. Or I could put it on a head. There we go. At least that kind of stuffs it out a little bit. So this mask is, I think Zagone just calls it, or I could check the tag. It is the Abominable Snow Monster. Let's see that right there. This, I believe, looking at what I could see from vintage pictures, is kind of the modern version of what they used to have under Be Something Studios called the Vanilla Gorilla, which, you know, as the name implies, is a white gorilla. And there was also a black version that I think was just called the Gorilla. And that one seems to be a little more common from what I've seen. This one you could see in the background. I think it's when Rachel and her potential boyfriend are arguing or talking or whatever, right before the glass shatters around Jamie and all that stuff. You could see this mask and another mask kind of hanging on a shelf behind them. So it's not a full, big shelf display piece, but it is one of the ones that's in there. The modern copy, the biggest difference I can see looking at it is that the hair is really different. This is kind of what you'd expect on a modern mask. It's longer hair. It's nice quality hair for sure. But the ones in the vintage copy seem to be trimmed a lot shorter. They looked like they probably were a little bit coarser or kind of more of like a fun fur texture than like a hair copy like this. And I think the faces may have been a little darker as well, the skin tone around here. That's hard to tell because looking at vintage masks, they could be dirty, they could just have aged poorly, whatever. So I can't be 100% sure on that. But this is relatively close in terms of a modern copy to what is in the background of the film. And it's another one, this one's a little more, slightly more in focus than the Traveler's Dracula mask. And that's why I don't really care that I'm using the Ogawa one for the Travelers. It just, it's something you don't see very much. It's not super prominent. So having something that does have a lineage back to the Be Something Studios mask, that's just more modern, a different copy, whatever, I'm not worried about it, I think this looks really nice. Just trying to pull the hair around the ear. Kind of looks like the hair got painted onto the ear a little bit. But he has the ears on the side, which you can see on the vintage copies as well. So, just have to clean it up a little bit. Probably have to stuff it. I kind of got the nose a little better, but the nose was kind of caved in a bit. Similar to the Guardian, the Red Guardian mask I got back in October or September, which is the kind of Hack-O-Lantern mask. Some of the spots where the hair is around the face, it's kind of just stuck to the face. So, it needs a little cleanup to be exactly what I want out of it. But not too shabby, I don't think. And hey, I could actually wear this one without worrying about ripping it or anything. Though I will say, similar to, I think, the Guardian mask, again, this one is kind of stabbing me in the eyes. So that hurts. So I'm not going to leave that on very long. But I think that about does it for this mask. Not a ton to say about it. Hopefully my next unboxing will be one from Trick or Treat Studios with one piece for this display, then some other random stuff, but I'll include it all in one video. Why the hell not? Ironically, I ordered the Trick or Treat stuff the same time, more or less, as this one, the same day. I think I ordered this one after the Trick or Treat Studios stuff, but because Trick or Treat Studios was closed for inventory at the end of the year, this has arrived before Tots ever shipped. So, yeah, I don't know. That's the one plus side with Zagone. They ship their stuff out lightning fast, for sure. There's plenty to like about Zagone. It's one of the few mask companies that operates in the U.S. still. Like, even Tots sends their stuff all out to Mexico and everything. These are made in the USA and everything like that. So if that matters to you when you're buying stuff, Zagone is a decent place to shop. Plus their masks are just wicked. Here it is next to my 2 other Zagone pieces. It's funny that all of them just have really gnarly teeth. That's like a running theme with their company for sure. And granted, I think all of these are Be Something Studios legacy pieces. So they all kind of date back to that like late 70s, early 80s, as far as I'm aware. So here's our Vanilla Gorilla substitute in the line with the other masks on the shelf. As you can see, I'm already running out of room on this shelf itself, but the only thing here currently that really was on the shelf in the movie is good old Seymour here. So Seymour is going to be staying, and then I'm working on some other little mask stands that are going to go over this bar. I think they're basically going to make a U shape over this bar so that the masks will rest kind of right about here, and that's barely on camera. So there you go. The rest kind of there. So the ones that are not on the actual shelf in the movie, those are all going to go up on this upper section here. And that will more or less cover all the masks that are not on the main shelf in the movie. The only exception there is a Don Post Eric, which I have had no success yet tracking one down anyway, so one of them is on this shelf anyway. I'm not really feeling inclined to have duplicates of things at this point yet. There's a duplicate of the Tor Johnson, there's a duplicate of the Eric, and then the Be Something Studios Drac also has a second one that you see in the background. I'm willing to bet it was probably the same masks that you see on the shelf. They just move things around in between shots. So I think the only way I'm going to add those to my kind of back row is if something happens, like I get a vintage copy of something where I'm using a modern version instead. So I think there'd have to be special circumstances to add the duplicates to the back here. So right now it's really just going to be those 3 masks, and then I'm going to build up this shelf. That's probably a really long-winded way of explaining this, but I don't know. The more I stare at this, the more I want to make sure I get everything perfect and exactly the way I want it. And sorting out where those extra masks are going to go was definitely one of my primary concerns after I got this shelf. So that's it for this episode. Stay tuned for more Vincent Drug shelf updates to come, and I'll see you next time. Later.